So
With love,
so
with
that
love.
so that's what I was talking about earlier when I was saying what type of co-pilot are you going to be? Let me say this: allow the man to make a mistake, whatever mistake it is, as long as it doesn't cost us our freedom or our lives. We'll make it up. We'll be fine. But certain women will not allow that to happen because that leadership part that you're talking about, that they supposedly gonna rest as soon as they break the seal of the plane of the door. Yeah, that it kicks in. Just like that mommy instinct kicks in when you go out and see a child in distress. It's going to kick in because it's in you. It's not just going to just shut off. It doesn't just shut off. It's not a light switch type thing. It's there. It's all about when you're going to display it or not. So you have to allow men to make them type of mistakes and be okay with it and trust the man that you chose to be with is going to get us back to where we need to be. That's a part of leadership. Look, we think everything the leaders do is going to work out. It's not going to work out. 90% of the time, you may fail, but them 10% of the times, we're going to hit every high we hit. There's going to be a lot of mistakes we're going to make. We're not going to hit every ball, just like I said in baseball. We're not. We're going to be in the 300s, 400s, maybe. It's going to happen. It's all about how do we respond? How does my co-pilot respond to it? Is she going to be there for me, like you said, to console me, to uplift me, to encourage me, to build me back up when I take that L? Or are you going to just pile on? You know, I took a financial hit in the stock market. Well, it's not going to help me, baby. We really took a hit in the stock market this month. But I'm looking at some other things. I'm looking at some other moves we can make. Yeah, but you said we weren't going to do this. You said this and that. You said this is going to work out. You said it's going to definitely hit. It's a no lose situation. Yeah. We don't need that. We already feeling bad. You can't, ladies, y'all can't make us feel no worse than we already feel. You can't. Right. The person that took that failure, you're not going to, there's nothing you're going to say that's going to make me already feel bad than I already feel. You're not going to help the situation.
Yeah.
You said what, Ruth?
If she whining, complaining, and shaming you, yeah, she can make you feel worse. It can make it bad.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know, Hank. I hear what you're saying, but I think that women, especially if this is your spouse, your wife, if that woman is degrading you or belittling you or whatever in a decision that you made that didn't go right, that's going to absolutely play a toll on any man, especially if that's something that she does consistently, because it's causing more damage.
But Viz, that's going to be temporarily. You'll forever think about what mistakes you made in your life. It'll be 5 years down the road, and you'll think about that time I missed out on that opportunity because I didn't make a certain investment. She'll say that 5 years ago, say, "Oh, you made a mistake." I'll think about it. God damn, I could have been 20,000 ahead right now. Instead, I'm not, because I'm thinking about that mistake I should have did, or the investment I should have made 5 years ago. So you'll never make that person, whoever did that, you'll never make them feel worse than any. I don't care. Ruth could say something to me. Okay, cool. Ruth, you're right. I mean, there's nothing I can do about it. You're right. But guess what? 5 years down the road, I'm not going to think about what Ruth said to me. Ruth called me an idiot for making that investment. I'm not. I'm going to think about, I made this move. Why did I make this decision? I shouldn't have. I could have did something different with the money.
You know what I would tell you? You got one step closer.
One Ruth, I can imagine.
You got one step closer to the solution. That's what I would say. You did look. You think the worst of us. That's not what it is. So yeah.
I did have another question I wanted to ask the panel. What are the biggest challenges men face in honing their leadership skills?
I'm sorry. Treyarch, can I we talking a lot about the men, but the first question we didn't say anything about the women. So I did want to address the women real quick, if you don't mind. As
Yeah,
a woman, yeah, thank you. We do have to take responsibility for ourselves and how we show up in relationships, how we talk to people, how we communicate. You guys heard me like sit there, be quiet, like loud or whatever. I've been addressed like you got to talk nicer to the kid, you got to be sweeter and all of that stuff like that, and I did work on it. So we do have to take in suggestions and work on ourselves. And you have to trust a man to lead you, see where it goes. Sometimes we want to tell him what to do instead of let's see what he does first, and then like let's see if he does a good job, make sure you say something. If he's trying, make sure you say something. If things are not going the way you want it to go, just praise him for what he does. Work on like somebody said, oh, black people can never give a compliment. We'll say, oh, look at your little sneakers or look at your little things. And I love how she was working on it at work. So I was just like, yeah, I mean, I'm glad she saw that we do that. And so if we're doing it as a culture, we got to learn how to praise each other and say good things about each other versus always like even the kids coming up now, they do this thing where they roasting each other every time they see each other. Like this is what we've turned into. This is normal. But how can we, if that's our everyday, how are we going to treat our man like, oh, and when we say something nice, it's going to sound like we being like back in the day, we're being gel or we're being hype or whatever, how we used to talk. Like it doesn't feel normal. It feels, or if I say something nice, a man will say, I'm being fake. What? Certain things we just sometimes we so toxic in the way we think and talk that you expecting something from a person that only toxicity was poured into them, or they don't seek out positive stuff. When we're online, we're looking at negative stuff. So women have to do a better job of like being more positive and being positive with their man. It's nothing wrong with being there for your man. After the show, I was like paying attention. I was like passing him napkins and he needed a fork and all that. I was just subconsciously doing that. I didn't realize I would do that, but it's nothing wrong with that. And then he started helping everybody else out. You cater to each other. And all you do when you know that your man is good, like I chose a good man. When I do good things for him, he's just only going to return the favor. I'm not counting, I'm not waiting, but I just know he's going to do that because that's what's in him. So we got to do a better job as women.
Yeah, I think we, especially with the narratives that are on social media, we forget so often that this is literally a team effort. There's no way that one side can strengthen the other. There's no way that one side can be better than the other. It's a team effort. Both parties have to give the same amount of energy into the investment that they have in order for this to work. Because if one person is giving more and the other person is giving less, then it's the pouring into the different cup effect, where one person is only just pouring into this one cup, and now the other person is feeling depleted, and there's only so long that can sustain. So now you're just setting the relationship up for failure. But I think that social media has so much of a individualism of isolation, to where we hear the conversations of I don't need a man, or I'm a single married mother or some shit like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is just insane. The conversations that are being had that are taken away from having healthy relationships, much rather than speaking life into it, much rather than pouring into it. And I think that should be the priority of it all.
I think as women, I agree with you. As women, we need to. You could feel like it, but don't have to put it on social media. Like, who didn't feel like a single mother sometimes? If your sole responsibility was to take care of the kids, yeah, you do. But wait till you start paying for them kids. You ain't gonna feel like a single mom no more when you gotta really pay for all the kids and do the man's part and the woman's part. You could feel a certain type of way, but you don't have to make a campaign about it. Like all we do is complain about men. Y'all talk about everything else. We talk about y'all the whole time. There's no other conversations going on. So it's the complaining part is, I learned that it was a natural thing that women have to get it out. We're getting out our feelings. But at the same time, it's like we got to learn how to take that energy and turn into something positive, because, and it just means that we do really want a man. That I don't need a man thing is a lie for a lot of women. They just saying it because you don't want to be the one girl to talk about, I do need a man. You don't want to sound like that. But deep down in your heart and in the group chat, you want a man. Yeah.
That's what they be saying in the group chats.
I had a birthday dinner, right? And one girl, she was just going in about how this man did this to her and that to her. I'm like, it's my birthday. I don't want to talk about this. Like, can we talk about something else? She went the whole time. Oh yeah, it happened to me. The girl's happily married. She's just playing along. Like, I'm like, oh man, we can't talk about nothing else but men. This is crazy. I like other women can. Positive women can do it. Don't get me wrong. I'm talking about the majority of women. They just, he did this to me and he did that to me, and it's like, come on, man. Like, that's not what this is about. So,
and misery loves company.
yeah.
I feel like we got to say that more often, because that's really what a lot of this be. People will be miserable. They'll get online, say some miserable shit, and then now it's a group thing, and it's like you're not even experiencing that for real. And then even to going back to the married single parents or whatever, that whole trend, or mom, that whole trend. Understanding that if you want a man that's going to pay for everything, that man is going to be at work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's not going to be at home all the time to help with the kids, because you're not paying for nothing. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things where I think people forget that everything comes at a cost. If you want to live that type of lifestyle, you're going to have to pay the cost of that man not being there all the time. You know what I'm saying? And when he does have time, then y'all make it the best moments that you can. But everything comes at a cost. If you want a perfect, what a person may deem as a perfect life, that's going to come at a cost. So it's really just people being real with themselves. I think that we really step away from that in this current society, of where, of course, we all want to live the fairy tale life, but life is real. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be open and willing to deal with what comes with it, and whatever that cost may be for it. That's a part of it.
So all I heard was men want the fairy tale. That's true.
Shit, I think men do too. I know I do. I've always strived for it.
It doesn't necessarily look the same as yours. Like, our fairy tale is nice house, nice little man cave where I can get away and get my own space. You still here, we're still under the same roof, but I need my space from time to time. Weekends, we have friends over, watch some football, enjoy some beers, stuff. You know what I mean? That's a fairy tale for us. Now that sounds like just boys' night out, but a wife on the grill. I mean, well, not a wife on the grill. Wife, making up some hors d'oeuvres. We chilling on a Sunday or on the weekend. Had the people over, play some charades, some spades. That's a fairy tale.
Hell yeah.
Everybody smiling. Look at it.
Y'all fairy tales like, clouds, you fly in on a cloud, and then this guy just comes out the heavens, swoops you off your feet.
Jesus.
Exactly. That's what y'all
that's Fabio. That's Fabio. That's who that is.
Fabio.
And I think maturity comes with it. You just have a nice house, reliable transportation, the family's around, everybody's healthy, happy, and you don't need anything. That's really what the fairy tale should be. But we've been sold all this other stuff. So that's why nobody wants to say, oh, I don't want a millionaire. Nobody wants to say that. I don't want a six-figure guy. It's just like, it's the opposite of groupthink to say, you know what? I just want a normal life. I just want a house in the suburbs. I just want, money in the bank. Like that's too much now, right? Because it seems like we're in America, we should be all rich, but like Ain't nothing
I
wrong
mean,
with
to that, I 100% agree with you. You know, but I think with the fact that we are in America, a capitalistic country, we you do have the ability to be rich. The thing is that everybody just won't achieve it because they're not willing to put in the work for that. You know what I'm saying? They're not willing to make that sacrifice. So I agree. Some people, there's nothing wrong with living a middle class life. You know, you got the family, you got the car, you got the house, in you know, in the suburb, whatever. Nothing is wrong with that. But to want more, I think that that's even better because you have the ability to achieve it. Some people are just more high achievers than others, and like you said, some people are okay with living that life. And I don't think there's nothing wrong with neither one of them, but is understanding which one is understanding what you're willing to sacrifice or invest to get that before you even go for it.
It seems
So
like high achievers, they have a high achiever mindset, but they have a low achiever work ethic. That's the problem. Everybody want the money, but don't want to do the work, like you said.
Yeah, ain't no free lunches.
and one of the things you got to be: are you willing to build with a man? Are you just ready to get him at the finish line? I mean, a lot of ladies want that man that's already at the finish line instead of have to build with that man. And it might not be in the suburbs just yet, Root. You might have to live in an area, you may not feel. I'm not saying where it's not going to be safe. Nobody wants that for sure. But just, it might not be the best of the best. It might, like I said, it might not be in the suburbs. You right there on the middle class high level home. It's right before the suburbs. You know what I'm saying? Are most women willing to do that, or do they feel like they? Oh, no. We got to be saying maybe a year away from being in the suburbs. Okay, well maybe we need to spend a couple years outside the suburbs and not in the suburbs until we can build up to that. You know what I'm saying? Are other ladies willing to do that? That's a lot of questions men have to answer and are looking for answers for. Are they willing to build with us?
I know I'm the one that have to give that speech, Hank.